face is like look this way a little bit because your face is kind of in the shadows. Do we want to snuggle this close?
Oh,
your knees are gonna hurt. Last time I sat and filmed a video like this, my leg went to sleep. I was like basically crying. Okay.
I can just eat and you talk. That's more normal.
That's the perfect video, or what? Hey, it's a new day and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan Fox and today I have a special guest. I think a lot of you know him, but no, there's a lot of new people on my channel since the baby and all that stuff, and he hasn't really been in very much it's been a long time, right? But sorry,
chit chat video. Yeah.
This video is gonna be full of lots of us talking over top of each other like normal, and everybody's gonna comment about it, but let's just get that out of the way right now. But yeah, every February-ish time we usually put out a couples video together. So I don't know, at least for me, my love language that speaks the most to me is quality time. And so I just love the chance to sit and talk over like a cup of coffee, or we go out to eat. One time we went out to eat and we completely forgot to order our food. We ordered an appetizer and then the lady never came back and we forgot to even flag her down because sometimes that speaks to my heart, a good conversation. So anyway, I made a pazookie today and it's like a
what?
What do you want to explain it?
I don't know what, I've never heard of that.
How does it taste?
I mean, it tastes like a cookie type thing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure.
You said it was amazing.
Cake cookie. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a cookie in a cast iron skillet in the oven, and I will link the recipe down below that I used. It is quite the feat to try to get all the kids down for their naps. Now that there's 3 of them, the newborn I just heard over there, so Josh went to check on him. But basically, I just made the cookie and put ice cream on top and some homemade whipped topping. So delicious. And I actually made enough dough for another one because tonight we're going to my cousin's place, and this is something we've been doing so much this winter. My cousin's husband got a golf simulator. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Anyway, so we go up there and we eat supper. The guys golf and us ladies chit chat and whatever the kids play, and yeah, it's a grand old time. So anyway, that's what we're doing this evening. But we thought that we would sit down and just chat with you all, have a little date, eat some cookies, and have the fire in the background. It's just totally a vibe. Anyway, I don't think we're gonna run this too much like a Q&A. I have a couple questions of your guys's at the end. But yeah, I just thought we could do like a little life update with your input in it. Everybody thinks you're so quiet and shy.
I am.
Everybody thinks Josh is so quiet and shy. I'm sorry. That's just how he comes across on camera. He's not the YouTuber I am, so just give him a pass. Things. So what have you been up to lately with work and the refugee house and all that stuff, maybe?
So yeah, I have a small remodeling business. We do really any kind of residential remodeling work, whether it's some exterior work, roofing work, siding, windows, doors, and then a lot of kitchens, bathrooms, whole house remodels. We've got a whole house coming up here. So yeah, we get into everything.
Are you sponsoring this video?
I am. Yep. So yeah, anyway, guy I do a lot of work for talked to me and wondered if I'd be willing to help out in getting a house ready in Lancaster City for a refugee family. Barely have time, but I decided, you know what, I need to help out in areas like that where I can. So, yep, we jumped into it this week. Basically, the house was barely livable. We made it livable, and yeah, it's been a long week.
You got to meet the family, right?
Yeah, I met a couple of the sons that would be probably around my age that were there. So there's going to be a family there's going to be 9 or 10 people living in this house.
Is it like cousins and stuff too, or is it all like random?
No, so it's a mom and dad, and then it's their 5 or 6 children, and two of them are married.
And they're straight
one of them has a child, or 2 of them has a child, I'm not sure.
And they were displaced through the Afghanistan thing. That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
so.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mennonite churches that are like helping with different rehousing them. Yeah, there's a lot of different, I feel like a lot of people are coming into Lancaster County. I'm curious, do you guys have any refugees coming into your area, and are you guys, doing stuff to help? I feel like it's so easy to look at missionaries in other countries and think they're doing the work, but now we have opportunity to do it. Yeah. And most of these people, I'm sure.
They have nothing. I mean, and a lot of them coming over here they were very wealthy over there, and they're choosing to leave and to get out for safety. I mean, that's crazy. And they're leaving everything behind. They're coming over. This family, from what I told, they showed up, they had clothes on their back, and that's it. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to reach out and help them. Yeah.
Sorry, now I want to cry. It's just like, it could be us. So, I mean, yeah, anyway. It's a great way to show God's love. I'm sure a lot of these people, are not Christians, and yeah, we can show them, his love. I'm trying to look at my phone here, a couple of things. Oh, yeah. Did you want to talk about our rental property at all, or is it kind of premature for that?
I mean,
I guess I could make some grand announcement video sometime, but I don't think it's that exciting for you guys. It's super exciting for us, but it doesn't really affect my channel or anything. But I thought I could just pop it in this video quickly.
So yeah, we found basically a neighbor came over and said a friend of his has a house that's been sitting empty for 6 years and wondered if I'd be interested in buying it.
We'll back up. We've been looking into rental properties for the past year. It's always something we wanted to do, but you gotta have liquid assets for that. And
there's got to be an open door and an opportunity to make something work.
The right time of life.
Right. But it seemed to kind of fall together. Actually, he probably came to me last August and asked me. And I said, "Yep, I'm very interested." I think I went and looked in it in August or September. And then I just kind of dropped it because I just didn't have time. Our fall was so crazy.
But I think that was good, though, because in that span of time, we did a lot more research. We looked at other properties. We kind of knew the market a little better.
Yeah.
And that's, you can't rush that hardly. You almost have to just
And then, was it a couple weeks ago? I would say probably end of November. He came over to me again and was like, "Hey, you still interested in that house?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still interested. I just haven't time to deal with it." So. Now, we got things in motion. We're hoping to settle here in January. It needs a lot of work. I mean, it needs kitchen, needs bathrooms, everything's kind of half gutted. He was working on it. There's bushes growing up that high that you can't even get to the front door. It's a mess.
But I don't know. I feel like it's one of the smarter things to do.
Yeah.
Like investment-wise, just with your skills and all that stuff.
And I can have my brother work on it while we're in Florida. It gives him something to do, too. He can start gutting the kitchen out. And it's wintertime around here. Wind chill this morning was 3 degrees.
Yeah, that's cold for our area.
It's cold.
Not usually.
But it's January, so no, we get that in January.
Every year, but not very many days.
No.
Yeah, it's not very common. But oh my goodness, it's super exciting. It's like a dream come true to have an investment property. But the long-term goal is to put renters in it, even maybe possibly people we know. We found we have a little apartment attached to our house, and we have only put in friends of friends in that apartment, just like teachers and stuff like single guys. It's all been single guys. We're on our third one now. And it's all been through word of mouth and stuff. So we know there is needs for smaller, this is a smaller apartment. Half of a duplex?
But it is 1,300 square feet, 3 bedrooms.
Okay, so you're looking at a family then. Yeah. So we want to fix it up like we would like it, but also on a budget, so Lowe's grade stuff, that type of stuff. Find that sweet spot that's going to be durable and last for a while, but also not it's not going to be a showpiece house by any means.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that we're going to Florida, and every winter I feel like such a spoiled brat. We leave freezing cold Lancaster County and we go to Sarasota, Florida area. It is so beautiful, and it's very much like a hub of Mennonite. Yeah, vacation Mennonite. Exactly. You don't go there if you don't want to see people which is fine. I think for us, the reason we decided to go there the first time was we would love to have taken our kids, on a trip in the winter where it's warm with our kids and some friends, and you can hardly, it's a lot of work and flying and whatever. And Sarasota, you drive 18 hours, that's an ordeal, but then you get there and you can get vacation with friends. So that's the whole point we go. We always go down with different friends, family sometimes, I don't know, and it's just so awesome I feel if you vacation in Florida for 2 weeks, you would totally run yourself ragged. We more or less just live there.
Yep.
Kind of. I mean, we do some fun touristy stuff too,
but
just even going for walks, playing volleyball at the park, biking, and just the most mundane stuff in January in warm weather or February is the best. So anyway, as you're watching this video, if you're watching it the day it goes out, we're in Florida at the moment. So anyway, along with that, I wanted to ask you, is there something you're looking forward to in life, or is there anything you're looking forward to? The baby came.
Right. I don't know. I guess the next thing will be Florida, and then come back, work on the house. I mean, obviously I've got a ton of work lined up. So
you're looking forward to that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he loves his job. So.
It's good to have work to do. Yeah.
Speaking of which, okay, so back this summer, I mentioned to everybody that there was something we were disagreeing about, and like we were not on the same page on. And normally, like, if there's something we're not on the same page on, we like figure it out within, you know, a day or two. And this had been going on for weeks, and we didn't agree, and they all wanted to know what it was. So we can totally delete this out of the video if you don't want it on. But
I'm not sure what we disagreed about.
yeah, I knew it. I knew that's exactly what he was going to say. Basically, guys, I did a Megan, which is making a big deal out of nothing. Hey, I mean, I'm not going to be hard on myself because at the time it did feel like a big deal. But honestly, the issue worked itself out. And basically, I told you guys that we're not on the same page. It was bugging me, and I just can't wait to have a chance to go away on our baby moon and discuss it. And so we went to Alexandria, Virginia, and it was like the most awesome trip ever.
I remember talking about it, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was just, I was stressed out with the baby coming, how it was going to work, with me having to continue YouTube, and he was getting job offers left and right, because around here, and like, I'm sure it's like this everywhere, there's a shortage of workers, and like good workers, and like workers that know, like have experience and stuff, you know, not that they need training and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, you were getting a couple different job offers, and I was feeling stressed out with YouTube, and basically I felt like we didn't want the same things in life, which was super scary because we always kind of want the same things in life. Anyway, even there for a minute, I was like, well, if he wants to go work for somebody else and wants to quit his business, why don't he just come help me with YouTube stuff? And like he can do, like, we have a website, meganfoxunlocked.com, where I have a brand called Fox Sparrow, and it's like a lot of e-commerce, like handmade products from like different vendors and stuff, and like I could blow that up so much if I had time for it, and I just don't have time for it. So I was like, why don't you, if you're really so sick of your job, come home and work on that and blow that up, and we can still be like, I was so afraid that he was going to give up his independence of, do you remember? Like, I was so freaked out that you were going to have to answer to somebody else, and we couldn't go on trips, and we have to ask permission for everything, and like all of a sudden you're not your own boss anymore. So it kind of worked itself out. The job offers, he decided, were not for him, and I decided I did not want him at home with me, because if we were living off, of my YouTube and my e-commerce and all that stuff, it would be so stressful. Right. And plus, I
don't think we could stay in the same house, you know, for.
Our marriage would definitely be a lot different. We could do it, but I feel like,
it'd take a big adjustment.
For us personally, I feel like we kind of respect each other's like domains. Like, I admire you for what you do, and you admire me for like all the stuff I can get done and everything. And then like
now all of a sudden you're combining the two. I don't know.
It's just not for us. Not like it would be for everybody else. And I don't know. I'd like to have. It might not be the smartest business advice, but it's nice to have a bunch of irons in the fire, you know, and different streams of income and stuff like that. So anyway, it all worked itself out. I was just being like stressed out, and like after the baby came, I saw
Dramatic Megan.
Yeah, who's that? Anyway, I just realized I think like the newborn baby stage of getting no sleep is very intense and very hard, but it's like 2 to 4 weeks.
Right.
And then you're either one, used to the sleep deprivation, or two, you're getting more sleep. So that's what happened with us. We were getting more sleep again, and everything, that's why it's so good to not rush into some things, like when you're like, have hormones involved, or just like sleep deprived and stuff like that. So yes, it all worked out. Thank you for those of you. I know some of them were saying they were even praying about it. So thank you very much. And I'm sure a lot of you can identify as well with the whole thing of not being on the same page. And I know some people say they don't even go to bed before they have it all figured out and stuff. And like, that doesn't work for us because we both need our sleep, and arguing when we're tired just doesn't even. Yeah, and it wasn't even like that was an argument. It was more like just like a life direction. Like, where do we want to go? What do we want to do? I think he was feeling uninspired with his job. I was feeling overwhelmed with mine. Yeah. I mean, and that will happen again in the future, I'm sure.
I learned a lot in business this year, and that learning kind of took a toll on me a little bit, and it made me dissatisfied. And the supply chains being screwed up is what really it just was so tiring every day, being told, hey, you're not getting what you need when you want it, and then
you have to tell the customer that, and then you're like the middleman.
Prices were always way higher than what you thought, like, or what you normally are. And
I'm sure a lot of you homeowners or people that are trying to build like totally get this.
As a builder and a lot of other contractors that I've talked with felt the same way this year. It was a major learning curve until I got that figured out and decided you have to grow with it, or otherwise it eats you alive. I think that was why, I was feeling there's got to be other things to do out there, which there is, but none of it just quite.
Yeah, but you usually walk away from every job feeling like you were in control, you made the customer happy, you're proud of your work, and like then all of a sudden you have outside factors involved of like windows not showing up in time, or like, and then you almost feel like like it's your problem. There was nothing you could do.
Exactly.
It's like a helpless feeling. And then, of course, when your husband's stressed out, I'm not used to him being stressed out. He's like super happy-go-lucky dude. I'm the one that's usually more stressed out. So when he would come home dissatisfied and stressed out, I just like took that on me too. And I think being pregnant and all didn't help that as well. And I was also feeling stressed out. So yeah, it was definitely a very growing year, but it was a good year too. Anyway, so yeah, anything you're excited about in 2022? Just
not really. I don't know. One day at a time.
One golfing trip at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get Josh's take on the whole birth story and that kind of thing. But before we do that, make sure you're subscribed and like this video if you like more chatty sit-down type of things. And then we're gonna dive into a couple of your questions quick yet too. So I told them the birth story. Do you have any other input you'd like to let them know, or if you're falling asleep?
No, my arm was just hurting. I don't know. Input.
Your opinion?
I don't know.
Like compared to the other ones, we waited around a lot this time.
Yeah, I mean.
And you felt sick. You weren't feeling good.
Yeah, I did not feel great at all in there. What I had, I don't know. I had a ferocious headache, and my stomach felt a little off the whole entire time.
Which it could have been nerves. He hates hospitals. Like he about passes out every time he goes to the doctor's office, which I did not realize that's a thing. I thought you were the only person in the world.
No.
I thought you were the only person in the world.
I know that's a thing. It's a head case.
It's all in your head. Yeah.
I'm Head Case Harry for whatever reason. That's my nickname. So
that's his golfing nickname.
Yeah.
He's a very passionate person. Everybody thinks you're so shy and like quiet. I'm like, if they would know, we're two of a kind. I truly think we're meant for each other.
Right.
But we don't really balance each other out in like the energy department, I would say. Like we're both very passionate about our things. But yeah, anyway, so you didn't I don't want him involved, thank you very much. But we had to wait around so long. I'm like, just get out of here. Like, I was waiting for them to, like, give me something. You know, they were busy at the hospital. I don't want to knock the hospital at all.
They were very busy.
And I was not the biggest fish they needed to fry. I was totally fine. It was like, the baby was doing good and whatever. Make sure you watch that video if you want to know all the details. But yeah, so I actually kicked him out and said, look, I want to be outside. I'm feeling so antsy. So you go out for me. And I told him to go to the driving range and hit some golf balls or something. And he's like, no. He's like, you're just going to make fun of me if I do that. I'm like, yeah, that would make a good story. But at the same time, like, seriously, I'm feeling so antsy. Go do something. I was actually on my laptop getting some work done. And so, yeah, you did you go to the driving range? But you said you felt awful, so it wasn't even very fun.
No, I mean, I had fun, but it felt good to get out and get some fresh air.
Was it weird knowing I was back at the hospital?
Yeah.
Our one friend missed his wife's birth because he went home to get some stuff, and she had the baby while he was gone.
Yeah.
Did that go through your mind at all? No.
Well, not really, because I knew you weren't even, like...
close to ready.
You weren't even... Nothing was happening.
It was a scheduled induction, but I ended up having it on my own then, so anyway.
This one might have been the closest one that I came to passing out, though. So I don't know.
He almost passed out with our first.
But I think I blame that a lot, because the first one was with Evonnie. I actually never really felt that bad. They just said I looked like I was going to faint, and I was like, I actually don't feel that bad. Whatever. And with Fletcher, it was no problem.
Yeah,
like, I
fine.
didn't
that was the second born.
But this time, I had to sit down. I was feeling faint. I thought I was going to pass out till they gave me some smelling salts or whatever they did.
They gave him an alcohol swab.
Oh, yeah,
that's what it was. Perked right up. I don't know. Anyway.
But no, I don't know. It was weird, but I kind of blame it on the fact that I felt kind of off.
We're definitely perfect for each other in that way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anybody, like, on me or any, like, whatever. Like, at one point he was trying to push on my back, and I'm like, just go away. I was like, your hand feels like a butterfly on my back. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm sure you were probably pushing with all your might on my back, right? Or, like, pretty strong. And to me, it felt like nothing for all the pressure that was inside. So I'm like, just get away. Anyway, that's how I was with all my babies. I just, let me alone. I can do it myself.
Fine.
Anyway, and he's also, we're perfect for each other. I'm like, stay up at the head of the bed, and I'll let you know when you hear a baby crying, Yeah. Anyway, but he named his son. I was not sure at all what we were going to name him, but you were all on board with, like, the Miller Hayes.
I didn't name my son, though. Like, I
came up with a list of names, and that's what you picked. Oh.
Like, you had to be on board.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but no. I mean,
no.
But, yeah. So, you kind of gave me the choice of two names, so. Well, not really.
What? I said this name or this name. No.
Well, sort of.
The way baby names works for us is I bring up thousands of names. And, like, if he doesn't immediately gag over one, I know I should write it down because maybe it's an option. But I was reading over a list of last names as first names because he liked the name Fletcher. He liked the name Palmer we were going to do for there for a second. Then you're like, no, I don't like it after all. So I was looking up last names as first names, and I came to Miller, and I couldn't get him off of it. Like, that's what he wanted then. So that's what it was. But yeah, anyway, I really, really love it. So good call. I had a few questions. I put up a Q&A last month, if you guys missed it, the cookie Q&A, and I saved a bunch. I still have tons of those questions left that I didn't get to, but I saved a couple that I thought would be fun to discuss with Josh, some marriage-related stuff, or just things I kind of thought I want to hear your opinion on.
Okay.
Because, we are Mennonites, by the way. I think that was pretty obvious if you got this far in the video. And if you want to know more about that, I have videos on what that means. Basically, we're Christians. We dress modestly. We believe in the head covering. We're non-resistant. And it's also a culture, too, like a way of life. But somebody asked, do you think there are any downsides to your way of life? And I thought that was such an interesting question that I don't think anybody has ever asked before. And I would immediately say, yes, I'm sure there is, because every way of life has its downsides, I'm sure, but can you think of any, like, off the top of your head?
So I mean, I feel like if you're living life as you feel God intends you to live it, there is no better way.
That's true. Yeah. I guess one thing I did think of was, like, with our desire for, like, holiness and, like, being set apart and stuff like that, it's kind of created a culture that's maybe leans more towards, like, the legalistic side of things and, like, black and white, and can be kind of judgmental
and kind of uninclusive, right? You're not.
It's a culture. It very much is, and I don't know. I feel like that's something that YouTube has taught me. I don't know if I would have. Oh dear, did the fire go out?
Probably. That's fine.
Oh dear. Anyway, do you agree with that kind of like?
No, absolutely. That is something that I think.
Whenever you're
there are a lot of Mennonite groups that don't even care that they're not inclusive to other people.
Because they're trying to stay holy and pure and set apart.
Right, they're trying to stay so set apart. So I think that's a danger. I think you can go too far that way.
So that's one thing I thought of, and I don't know if I would actually ever even picked up on that, except, with interacting with so many of you guys in the comments and on Instagram and stuff, like, I have so many different types of people that have, interacted with me and, like, we chat back and forth and stuff, and you might not look like me, you might not live like me, like, lots of differences. But we want a lot of the same things in life, and, like, I don't know. It's something that I'm very passionate about, like, not just quickly saying something is wrong just because it's different from the way we were brought up and the way we did things. And I think a disadvantage for us is that we've never lived anywhere else. We've never been part of another culture. Right. We've never even lived in another state or anything like that. And so it does, it's not going to make you as well-rounded of a person, obviously. But I feel like YouTube is my way of traveling in so many ways. I've come across so many different lifestyles and...
Well, I think the point that I think we have to hammer home to people from outside our Mennonite communities is Mennonite is not the only way. Like that, and just because you're not Mennonite doesn't mean you're not living life the way God intends you to live it. At the end of the day, it's faith that matters, and read your Bible and allow God to lead you. Like, that's the big thing.
I think we got off the topic of the question a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's us.
That's a deep topic question.
And there's many more things, I'm sure. Like, I think another thing, like with being legalistic and stuff, sometimes with our culture and things, we made culture on the same plane as, like, doctrine. Yeah. And so then, therefore, we cling to these things that really aren't in the Bible necessarily, even though they might have merit. Like, I believe there's nowhere in the Bible that says you can't wear a wedding ring. And we don't wear wedding rings, and I think us personally would have no problem with that, but it doesn't really have any merit in our lives necessarily. We're going to love each other the way we do. Right. And there's not anything wrong with not wearing a wedding ring, but then where I see the problem is when people then therefore say, we don't wear wedding rings, so if you wear a wedding ring, that's wrong. You know? Anyway, and there's so many other different little issues like that you could bring up and stuff. So it's just like that that's closed-minded, narrow-minded, like, I don't know. But yeah, we are called to be pure, so at some point you have to draw a line and...
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah, anyway, that could be a whole video on its own. Maybe in a couple of years we were older and wiser and have even more input. Josh's dad is a preacher at the church you grew up at, and yeah, he always has such good advice. When you guys come to me with questions, I always take them to him usually because he has good ways of responding, and yeah. So glad for his wisdom. Okay, 2 more questions yet. How do you keep your marriage fresh? I have 3 tiny ones like yourself and have been married 7 years, so they sound right like us. I really struggle with this. I feel like there isn't enough of me to go around. I felt very much like that right after the 3rd one was born. Looking forward to this video. Your family is beautiful. Oh, thank you. That's from Kayla Ward. Do you have any input on that? Because I feel like our marriage is not boring, but I think that's because we're not very boring as people.
Right.
I think something you really like is doing like the marriage seminars once in a while and stuff, because it's hard to integrate like deep conversational time daily. You know,
and we don't do that too much. We don't sit down and have theological discussions or anything. Like, we don't talk deep matters that much.
I know, right. Exactly. Well, it's like, okay, till you get in the mood, it takes a while, you know, like you have the cares of the day on you and all this stuff, and like, I don't know. So for us, and I used to think that was like really bad, but I think we've just learned like in this stage of life, that's just how it's going to be. And so if we have a date night every 2 weeks and we have something important to bring up, you can save it for your date night. Or we've done marriage retreats and stuff, and they're always super good and like super helpful. Like we actually went to a marriage retreat and some other of our friends were there, and they didn't think they got that much out of it. And we're like,
there was too much.
There was just too much. It was like so much. Like,
right.
And I'm like, does that just speak to the immaturity of our relationship? I'm like, no, I think it's more to do with we aren't having discussions like that every day. I think the most we would get into stuff like that is like driving in the car, like places. But that's soon going to be gone too, because our oldest is 4. So how specific and detailed can you really get once they get older and can understand so much more? And I don't know. But yeah, so I think that always makes us, we come back from like marriage retreats and stuff like more together and like, I don't know, excited. And I don't know, I'm excited about trying to have a date night every 2 weeks. In the winter, our dates are often sit down and chat over like a burger or coffee or something. And then in the summer, we often will like do things. I'm very antsy. He'd rather just sit and relax for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that would be some advice. Like, understand the situation of life that you're in at the moment and don't like beat yourself up too much about it. And then figure out what works for you. For us, it's the dedicated time set aside once in a while, you know, quality over quantity, because we really can hardly get the quantity in right now. It's pretty hard. Our kids do go to bed at like 8:30ish, but by then we're so tired. I mean, right? We both work really hard. You get up at 5.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wish you had said earlier that you want me to plug in somewhere else? Oh, hey, Miller. Hey, Miller.
Ooh, the bright light.
This is the newborn we were talking about. He is, well, when they watch this, he'll be a good 10 weeks old, probably. He's getting to be a big guy. You excited for Florida? Yeah.
No clue.
Anyway, one last question here quickly. Somebody says, you seem so busy all the time. Even when you take time for you, it seems meticulously planned out. I've heard you say Josh goes and golfs, but I wonder if you ever get to just turn off. Really check out and let your hair down, or is this just not the season of life to do so? My husband and I have decided not to have kids, and we have good jobs, which affords us quite a bit of free time. I watch all your videos and often wish a free day for you. Take care, and thanks for the content. And I just thought it'd be fun to get your input a little bit. But I guess I sometimes look at my life and I'm very torn. Because yes, you're not seeing me relaxing a lot. I don't actually relax a lot. Sunday afternoons is like pretty much the time I give myself permission to like waste time or do nothing or check out, as she was saying. And to me, actually, depending who I compare myself to, I feel like that's a lot. Like, I know some of you moms that are watching have like 7, 8 kids, and your spouse isn't helpful maybe, or like Josh is great with babies. Like, he teaches me stuff. I'm not like micromanaging how he takes care of a baby, because he knows what he's doing, I feel. And I can totally trust him, and he gives me like time to go to coffee shops and different things like that. So it's interesting that she's saying she wishes a free day for me when I feel like I get what I need and what I want, and if I don't, I tell him and he makes it happen usually. Like, how do you know when I'm getting burned out or when I need?
I don't know. I mean, I can usually tell. I mean,
little things will just like set me off, and it's like, okay, normally that wouldn't be a big deal.
Obviously, time of life right now, you can't really get away from a newborn. But I mean, before he was born, I mean, you did. There were times that you would go places for a day with friends, and the kids would stay at your mom, and I'd pick them up in the evening. So I don't know. And a lot of evenings. I mean, I would say
I'm not looking
even since he's been born, you take evenings off, and I think husbands need to be willing to watch their kids and let their wife, be gone for an evening without the kids. I mean, maybe that's not the right. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just a high maintenance wife. I don't know, but apparently not.
It works for us. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not looking for a free day. In fact, that would depress me. I like people. I like to be like, I don't know. I'd rather have a family day. Like a family day is like so speaks to my soul. But I do need times to myself, and that's often like a morning editing session at a coffee shop. He has all 3 kids, or the evening he'll keep them and I'll run for groceries and maybe stop and get a coffee or whatever, something like that. And that, to me, that seems like a big deal. It's like really nice. But actually, I feel like that might be a culture thing too, because I have friends that like never are away from at least one of the kids. Like their husband can't even take all of them. And I told Josh, I was like, for my own mental sanity, we could never have so many children that he can't be home with them by himself for a couple hours. I mean, I'm at home all day with the kids, whatever. But you do just as good of a job in the evenings if I need to go away or something. And yeah, I don't want to have a 4th child until we're at a place where, we can have one parent taking care of all of them if need be for a couple hours, not for a day or anything. Like I'm not going to run away from this little guy.
Yeah, and you know what? You have moments with your children where it's stressful, and then you also have moments where it's just like so fulfilling.
Yeah, they take energy away, but they also like add to life for sure. Yeah. And I know there's some of you that have 2, and you're like, you hear all the rumors about the 3rd one's the hardest and all that stuff. We would agree, right?
Yeah.
So far,
it feels like this one here.
But hard isn't bad, guys. Hard is not always bad, as Abby from Emma's for Mama says. Hard is not always a bad thing.
I officially did not feel like a family man until I had a 3rd kid. I'm officially the old family. I'm the family dad. Like I'm the dad of the family now. And it's like.
Is this what you always wanted? I don't think he thought about this. He always wanted to get married and have a family, but he never really thought what that was going to be like. And now you see what it is. But
that's fine.
It's fine. They're so cute and sweet now. Eventually they'll be a lot more fun, and we can like go hiking and Yeah, every stage has its upsides for sure. I couldn't do it without him, just for sure. I don't think I tell you that enough, do I? His love language that he likes the most is words of affirmation, which I'm terrible at. So anyway, thank you so much for letting me have some time off here and there. Right? Mm-hmm. Say mama. Say mama. He's gonna say mama first. I'm determined. Where's mama? Hi. What for face is that? What face is that? Oh man.
There you got a little smile.
Oh, there he smiled. Hey. Anyway, that was enough. The fire's burned down, and the kids will be up from their nap soon. We're going to go off and have a little golfing party. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know down below. Let me know what stage of life you're in. Do you have littles at home? I feel like a lot of you do. That's why you follow me. It's nice to have some companionship and everything, but maybe not. Maybe you never had kids, whatever. I'd love to know. Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. And you'll see me in the next video. Josh, maybe 25 videos from now again. I don't know. We'll see.
Crazy.
What?
I said crazy, huh? She's over there waving and talking.
Oh, yeah. My hand's everywhere, huh? Anyway, now I'm getting distracted. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.